Sometimes we get caught up in the idea that one project, one moment will change everything. But the truth is, every step forward is just one part of a much bigger picture. This isn't about falling short. It's about recognizing that progress is built piece by piece. Each effort matters, even if it doesn't make the sky light up on its own. If you're anything like me and you're fighting to put your best foot forward in each effort that you make, that I'm sure there'll be one or two takeaways today as we look at how we could shift our focus, celebrate the small wins, and keep building, because in the end, it's all those steps together that truly do build something that is meaningful. If you don't know, my name is Chad Joshua, and I'm working towards building a catalog of 100 songs. I write songs about populism, freedom, and liberty, and in my free time, I like to make these videos to discuss strategies that we can apply to whatever projects and challenges that we have in front of us in order that we can work towards them in the most efficient way possible. In my efforts as a songwriter and as a burgeoning content creator, I deal with this all the time, and I'm sure that is universal to so many other skills and trades. For me, I see everything that I'm doing in an effort to break some sort of a threshold, and there's a lot of content that I make in order to promote my songs, which may be faster to produce and faster to publish. And then on the outside of that, there's other sort of content which there's a lot more time and effort and energy in order to conceive, ideate, and create. And it's really those more substantial projects that tend to have an emotional hit to them. There's a cycle of creative investment and an emotional come down in each of these projects. You put so much into bringing them into reality, and all throughout that you're envisioning its potential. But then immediately when you're done, and immediately whenever you put the content out there, sugar high come down comes into full effect. And if you're anything like me, you know how crushing that is. But like so many other things, all of that facing reality is irrelevant, because all that remains is your resolve and measuring yourself against it. Because you're either going to get right back up and on to the next thing, or you're not. But I suppose the main idea of making this a discussion at all is just to see if there isn't some way that we can better manage that all in terms of internally, so that we're not hit with it as such an up and down, and it doesn't become something that we're encumbered by. So what about you? What's it feel like when you're completely focused, as if you have horse blinders on, you're drinking the Kool-Aid, and you're hit with the hard reality that this particular effort will only be remembered as an incremental one? When we're deep into the project and we're creating something, we're using our imagination in order to perceive what an outcome might be like. Like, what is the next transition that you're making in a video, or what energy will come from the next ramp of the song? You're seeing the future, and then you're building it into reality. But all of that sixth sense you employ in order to demonstrate your genius isn't always reflective of the reception. And that brings us right back to the highs of being creative and the lows of dealing with the come down once you've wrapped up. I recently made a behind the scenes vlog to promote one of my new songs. And for that, I had written scripted segments. I had shot all sorts of B-roll. I had cleverly woven in a statement of activism inside of the whole story. Shot everything. It all looked cool. I had really great intro music to the video. All of it felt engaging to me as I was making it. Then midway through, I ended up having a problem with my hard drive and losing the edit, only to have to go back and do the whole thing twice in the nearest approximation that my memory would allow. That all done, I'd been a little bit too long and too invested on producing the video. And no sooner had I finished when I was hit with the full force of the elation and joy. For my level of know-how and skill with producing long content, I felt pretty happy about the result. I saw it as being smart, and I thought this could be one of those battering rams that helped me to break through the threshold, at least to some next level. But as it turned out, that certainly didn't happen. And it was even before I knew it wasn't going to happen that the come down had already started to take place. It was immediate. No sooner had I begun to self-congratulate before the big question hit me. Now what? So, and just like that, I had to square myself with the reality and the nature in which this all works, while the whole time feeling surprised that I had once again deluded myself into thinking that this high was gonna last. It did not. So I don't know what you're building, what you make, or what you do, but I'm sure that these kinds of challenges are universal. And while I'm sure it's fair to say that it's likely that you're far more a grounded person than I am, I would still be wildly interested to hear whatever story that you have. No matter what you do, before too long, we all have to get back on the horse, get back towards going towards the things that we're trying to. Reset, refocus, hopefully with lessons learned, in order to better navigate and better manage the same obstacles when they come next. We all strive to create something that will be substantial, something that defines us, but not every effort needs to be monumental, and they certainly won't all be. But each of these projects, as you know, as I know, is a piece of the foundation that we're building. They're not the whole structure. So lean into patience, focus in on that each step is working towards changing you, and everything that you do contributes to the bigger picture. It's real easy to put so much hope and enthusiasm onto one project because it's so imaginative, and to have some expectation that it will be a big breakthrough. I do this on every song that I make for sure, but it doesn't exactly square with reality at all. Creativity doesn't work that way. All of it does contribute to progress, and the progress is a process. And while putting so much effort and energy into something and having to deal with the disappointment that it didn't have the legs that you had envisioned is a real thing, and I get it. You're not going to be judged by that one piece of work. You're going to be judged by the totality of it. So try to remember that and try to focus on the building. Do your best to keep in mind that whatever piece it is, no matter how amazing that you perceive it, that it's only just one piece. And the mark that you're really gonna make for yourself is that you were a doer and that you did. And when you were faced with the choice of being stationary or taking action, you chose to do. And that is the substantial thing about everything that you do. Every piece of content, every project that you take on, every song that you write, every house you build, no matter how beautiful or amazing any of those are, they all reflect back on that innate tenacity that you exhibited in taking on a challenge, working to bring it into fruition. So you keep your head up, and I'm going to keep mine up. If you haven't had a chance to hear my new song, you can listen to it here, and we'll talk again soon.